guys, what is going on? RedMaster here, and welcome back to the episode of TV Commentary. Of course, you guys know how this thing works by now. Of course, going over some Cars TV matches, checking out what people are playing in the ranked competitive play. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our first matchup of the day and see what goes down. Alright, so our first matchup is UnhlpfulYoda taking on Shibby. I think Yoda's playing the Dragons, Shibby thinking a mix of, well, he's got Rakanoth, I just forget which one, if it's just Undead or Dragons himself. We'll see momentarily. I think it's more Undead, but we'll, I guess, just confirm later on. So, yep, Yoda's bringing out the Faithful Drake pretty aggressively, of course, with 2 gold, assuming Shibby can't do much. But he does have the Fear, so, of course, pushing that back, getting a little bit of draw for him. Back to Yoda's side. I think he throws out another Faithful Drake, so putting up the early pressure against Shibby. Not really seeing a lot out of him. And, of course, Shibby not choosing to, of course, sack that Lumberjack quite yet, because he will use it for a Blacksmith combination to at least take out one Faithful Drake. Not getting the other one, but still, managing to snipe off one. We'll see if Yoda goes for castle damage or the Blacksmith. Looking to go castle damage, seeing how Lumberjack's going to trade well with that Blacksmith. So both getting a nice lumber draw to start things off there. And, of course, Yoda going to get another Lumberjack, and, of course, Faithful Drake to the face. Pretty straightforward stuff here. And, of course, now Shibby is in a little bit of trouble. We see the Banshee here as his only sort of option to defend with for now. Playing a Darkbender wouldn't really help in the situation. Of course, Yoda might not be able to kill a Darkbender at this moment, but still, he does want to get that off his face. I think you think he goes Darkbender here. Let's see if I'm correct. Yes, he does go Darkbender. So, I mean, ideally, now what you want to do here and taking more castle damage, especially in these colors, but Darkbender here going to be or at least has to be the choice here, just because he wants to get it set up. And, of course, you can just hide it. Okay, not where I thought he was going to go. We could have gone down here, but works, just the same. So Drake going to go ahead and take a huge chunk out of that Darkbender. Going to take 3 thanks to Blacksmith. Lumberjack taking another 2 out of the castle, bringing the game to 16-14. And, of course, back to Shibby. Shibby going to take out the Faithful Drake with one of those Darkbenders. Defective Flame hitting the Blacksmith. So that way Banshee creates a better, rather than trade, he'll just kill it, which is, of course, all the more better. Although Shibby is very behind here in opening stage, 13 to 20 as we're approaching, or at least now that we're in like the mid game. And Shibby's hand now looking super strong here. We see the 2 Banshees, 1 on board, 1 on hand, another Darkbender as well as the 1 on the board, plus Dragon's Fire and Rakanoth. Dragon's Fire I don't think is going to be too helpful here against Dragons. I mean, usually you want to say that for a lot of Swarm units, but Dragon's not really known as a Swarm archetype, if you will. Horseman going to snipe off the Ice Drake. Very nice break there for Shibby. Gets 3 damage on Castle, and of course moving the Horseman to hopefully intercept another 3 damage. Yoda responds with a Dragon Knight, so of course Knight itself going to clean up the Banshee. Horseman to block for the incoming Horseman, and of course Dragon Lore. So we could potentially see, I want to say Yenneroth, because Dramoth Dramoth plus Dragon Lore is 12 gold, so makes sense if he does early Yenneroth here at 6 gold. So, of course, freezing off everything on the board. Interesting how he didn't throw it any more aggressively. He would have been able to kill off a Darkbender, judging based on Shibby's hand, although Banshee and Lumberjack can both produce a draw. And then we see Blacksmith down as well, so might have been able to kill it. I don't know. No, the math doesn't really add it. Well, it does if basically everything goes into it, but Mythx Journey going to freeze off everything again, so Yoda did have a reason to, hide Yenneroth back there. Having the Mythx Journey refreezing everything will be nice. Again, keeping those Darkbenders out of reach there. And we see Blacksmith Banshee looking to block the board here as best as he can. Yoda's probably going to go for a Darkbender takedown though. Lightning Blade. Ooh, that's going to be rough. So Blacksmith and Lumberjack being taken out, as well as that weakened Darkbender, leaving Shibby at 10 health. So again, big benefit to having Viking Crusader. Well, I mean, I guess with Dragons, Lightning Blade is everywhere. But again, it shows you why Lightning Blade needs to be in nearly every Viking deck. Just because of the plays that, if you force your opponent in an awkward position where Lightning can pretty much be a game changer, it's always great to have that Lightning Blade around. So Sacred Quest going on one of these Darkbender, or you have the Darkbender. So looking to get some more draw here off of a Darkbender hit. And of course, Banshee can go ahead and do the same, or at least hopefully get another spell. It's another Sacred Quest. That's a bit of an oof, but that's okay. Keeper of the Doorway going to go, as well as Defective Flame Cannon. Probably would have been better for Shibby to grab a Horseman or a Banshee from that pull, Wraith probably the unluckiest he can get in that scenario, leaving him with pretty much no goal to do anything to defend this Darkbender against the incoming Faithful Drake. And of course, taking 3 more damage thanks to Defective Flame Cannon is not going to be useful to him at all. Yoda, meanwhile, reinforces with Kraxus. Pretty much all he has to do here is keep Shibby off of his castle. 7 to 17. He can draw out this game for a while, but Darkbender getting 2 draw off of the Sacred Quest. Dragon's Fire taking out that Kraxus, leaving the Faithful Drake a bit weakened as well. And of course a Wizard to, fortify himself for extra protection. So now Yoda's going to have to move in, kill this Darkbender. This Darkbender did become a pretty big threat here. Not only does he have range of and 4 attack deal with that, he does have a double draw on hit. So if this Darkbender continues to live, Shibby's at least getting 3 cards in his hand per turn. And that's something that Yoda wants to kind of cut off at this very moment. So we see Green Drake moving in, as well as Ice Drake. So he's attempting to kind of swarm him here, or at least hold him back a bit. Ice Drake maybe for Aeroth if he decides to come out. Or at least, no, well, if he decides to push this forward. Looks like Dragon's Fire plus Darkbender. Yep, Darkbender. Defective Flame Cannon on the Ice. Nope, Dragon Temple. Okay, I forgot that everything's at 1 health. That actually works out quite well. Getting rid of the Dragon Temple gets rid of both units, but I mean, Shibby can come back from this, but it will be difficult. Yenaroth, ooh, that's a big exclamation point on the, I guess, comeback there. Freezing everything for, in this stage. Pretty much going to let the timer tick down here on Shibby's castle. Horseman going to go a little bit of damage onto Yenaroth here, plus the Hassan City guards. And he can't really utilize his reanimate either. There's nothing close enough for him to kill off. I mean, these guards plus Horseman might have been a great, might have been great reanimate food, but unfortunately going to have to, let the timer sit back on this one. He does have another turn, though, so if you get this Horseman, maybe for a Rakanoth push, but again, I don't think the math adds up very well. Or Yenaroth can come back out to kind of just end the game. So first the matchup going to UnhlpfulYoda and the Dragons. Very nicely done there. I mean, there's not really much I can say to this matchup. I mean, things did not go well in Shibby's favor at all. Couple of early interactions. We saw the Wraith draw when that wasn't really needed. I mean, he did make a good comeback, though, pushing Yoda to 11 health on the castle, where it could have been just a no-hit game. That was a good comeback, or at least a sign of a good comeback. But overall, the Dragons and the Freeze just kind of edged him out of there. We could have saw some good Rakanoth action, too, but again, Yenaroth Freeze is very, very useful. And again, why you see Yenaroth in nearly every Viking deck, not just in Dragon decks, but the wide effect of Freeze is just something that everyone values in a very positive way. So, with that being said, Yoda takes our first matchup, or first match of the video. Great match to both of those guys. Let's go ahead and get match number 2 and see what else lies in store. Alright, and next up is Doloso. I hopefully pronounced that right, taking on Kruux. So, Pirate Druid going up against Pirate Viking, 2 of the strongest faction choices for Pirates. Again, without the School of Knowledge Stones in the mix there. But Doloso going to start off with a Master Thief, Kruux opening up with a Dwarven Miner. A little off to the side, though, so, I mean, he could have easily taken the Master Thief trade, but I guess didn't really want to at that present time. No big deal, we're not going to harp on that for now. Meanwhile, Kruux throwing out the Rat King. Very good getting rid of the Rat King off of the spawn here, so the upkeep does not affect him. That probably will lead to a Southport hit onto face. We can see, Fatport comes out. So, yeah, we can see, of course, 3 damage going on to Castle. Master Thief not even trading with the Rat, just kind of killing it off. Meanwhile, another Master Thief comes out. Sometimes my English is not that strong here. Arm Reload going down for Kruux, going to be able to clean up a lot of things on this board. Dwarven Miner trades with the Captain. Rats are going into Master Thieves, and meanwhile, he keeps 1 rat alive. Just to hang out there, just to, chill, because he's a epic dude. I don't know. Sometimes I gotta spice up these commentaries, and sometimes I can even hear when I'm recording they don't work out. Another Captain from Doloso, so we can assume more ramp is going on here. We can definitely see potentially some, let's see, that's going to be, 7 gold next turn, so maybe a Dread Pirate, we'll see. Meanwhile, Kruux going to go in with the Fenrir. He has Dwarven Scope in his hands, so let's see if Doloso can take out that Fenrir before it gets nasty. We'll see a Fat Bard hit there. We'll see Phantom Strike to take out in the Armory. Possibly a bit excessive there, considering you don't necessarily need that, but okay. Dagger Storm onto Fenrir will do good work here. Will certainly do good work. It basically cripples that Fenrir. If Kruux puts the Dwarven Scope on now, it would kind of be a lost cause. He can hit it if he wants to for some damage, but in the end, that really is not going to be worth it on Crux's end. So he should focus Fenrir on maybe taking out the Fat Bard captain that he has here, so he doesn't have to use any cards in his hand to do so. But we'll see what he does. He's got Hovel in his hand. He's got Blacksmith. We'll see. So he goes for the captain trade. Only has 2 health on that Fenrir, so taking out the Bard wouldn't really do much. Captain would still be a big threat with the repost damage, but Blacksmith will come out for Kruux, and of course Rad Hovel as well. And of course Blacksmith can hit that Fat Bard and survive, considering that it's got 3 health. Fat Bard has 1, thanks to the interactions that Fat Bard had to take to get to the armory to take out. So overall, looking good for Kruux here as we continue on. Meanwhile, Doloso, another Southport captain, so we can assume that is his 3rd one and his final captain. Plus Flux, a card that we don't really see much anymore. Flux, how you doing? Doing all right? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. That's a lie. We played Doloso earlier on. If you guys haven't checked out the known combo video yet, you can go ahead and do that. After you're done with this one, maybe there'll be an annotation somewhere. But meanwhile, back to the action. We did see Onslaught on Villaroth, plus a Phantom Strike on, I assume, Flux, maybe? Yep, Flux. So that way she can continue to get more spells for Doloso. And his hand is pretty much gone here, which is interesting. Normally we don't, well, we do see that these decks kind of run out in terms of hand size pretty quickly, based on how many resources they want to throw out on the board. So, but Flux being able to generate spells too is nice, so we can see a little bit more in his hand. Flame, Merchant's Favor, and we assume Villaroth is probably going to trade with Flux. See if I'm right there. Yep. So Flux disappears, not before getting 2 more additional spells though. So another Flame, plus Winds of the North. So we can assume Flames might be. Those flames might be used to help deal with this Mordok. We'll see momentarily. Rusty Hooks will probably, yep, scoop in the Villaroth. 1 damage onto Villaroth, so the bleed will finish him off. Another flame on Mordok. We see Doloso's probably running out of options here to do in his hand. He's not left with a lot to do. We know 2 of those cards in his hand are Winds of the North and a Merchant's Favor. And now Mordok getting scope here is pretty much going to put the exclamation point on it for Kruux. Not much he can do, I think, going forward. We see the scope for Mordok. We see Horseman on Castle. Captain, Lumberjack, Rats, all moving in little by little. So, again, not much Doloso can really do here, in my opinion. Winds of the North, sure, he can push some enemies back. Matty, okay, so a little more breathing room here. Winds in the Wind Mage, so again, further pushing things. Warrior as well, nice combination there to use his Thunder Strike a little bit to kind of hopefully maintain this board just a little bit. But not going to really matter to Kruux here. We see he's got another Dagger Storm, so he needs at least 2 of those to hit the Wind Mage. All 3 will hit the Wind Mage, so nothing to worry about there. And yet another Mordok running down the line here. So he's got 2 Mordoks looking to both take a bite out of the castle. And that doesn't really leave Doloso with a lot of well, he got Mercenary's Execution, so there goes 1. And of course it's a stronger one, but that does leave the one with the scope alive, which is interesting. So Mordok going to take 1 hit at the castle. Banshee, another swing at the castle, and of course not really bothering to do anything with that Matty. It's only got 0 attack points, so not really a lot that Doloso can do with that to defend. I think another Matty, okay, so maybe something else to help him here. Mage Apprentice, nope, that's going to be the end of the game. Solid win from Kruux here. Again, putting an exclamation point on the Pirate Druid superiority here. I did think it was interesting that Doloso was running cards like Flux, things that we haven't seen in a while, so she's kind of making her way back into the game a little bit, and some things from Kruux as well. Villaroth, something that we haven't seen, again, out of a lot of decks for a while as well. Although I can kind of see Kruux going more of a scoped approach here. He did have a lot of tools that can do well with scope here. We saw Swordsman, we saw Mordok, we saw Villaroth, we saw Fenrir. So probably a lot more of a scope focus in this deck than a normal Pirate Druid mid-range. But regardless, worked out well for him in the end, and that did give him his win. So great match to both of these two. But let's go ahead and move on into match number 3 here and see if we can end off with a, maybe equal, if not better matchup. We'll see. But anyway, on to match number 3. Alright, and so for our last match here, I found you guys a little special treat. At the time of recording, Mythx is currently number 1 on the leaderboards with a deck that is in the 3400s, I believe. So he is not using that very deck here, as you can tell by his star ranking, but he is going up against Jeriquix? I'm gonna call him Quix just to help me not butcher his name. But interesting to see what the number one player currently, at least at this time of recording, will bring to the table. So let's go ahead and jump right into the matchup here. Mythx looking maybe to run, or at least I can't tell by his hand. It could be undead, it could be something else, but I don't really know what Quix is running either. Ninja Druid usually has some interesting combinations, some really sketchy combinations. So we'll see. Matter of time. Matter of time. Although Mythic's not really throwing at anything to start his game off at all, really. So Quick's looking to get some early advantage onto the board here. Wizard, Dwarf, and Mine are going to be some great cards open up here. We'll see. Yep, Dwarf and Mine are going to go ahead and take 3 out of the castle. So an early lead for Quicks to bring it to 20 to 17. Rat King from Mythic's going to go ahead and clean up that Dwarf and Miner very, very easily. And of course, not dealing with any upkeep, plus having 2 additional rats to use at his disposal. Although looking to really run them into Wizard. We'll see how that works out for him. I doubt, in this scenario, I doubt Quicks will bring out another Centaur, bring out the Centaur. Yeah, he'll go with the Blacksmith to kind of armor up this Wizard. Or at least even protect it as well to go forward with that a little bit further. Dragon Sword from Mythx, make that 2 Dragon Swords, so really some big powerful ramp here early on in the matchup. Quick's going to go ahead and take out the Rat while he has the opportunity to, not let anything kind of get on his board. And of course reinforce with another Wizard. So Mythx with 11 gold on turn 5 brings out a very early Eternal Darkness. Very interesting plays there. I'm kind of, not really you see Eternal Darkness thrown out by turn 5. We'll see how we can combat this. It's not a spawn lock, so again, not really utilizing Eternal Darkness and its ultimate form, if you will. But it looks like a lot of the zombies are going to get cleaned up here. We see the Wizards doing work. Lumberjack doing work. Blacksmiths are both coming out here and doing some work as well, leaving Mythx with only 1 zombie, which I assume he might take out a Blacksmith with. Medal of Bravery for 7 gold. Execution on the Wizard, and I guess 2. Okay, nope, does take out 1 Blacksmith. So killing off about half of his board here. Not a good position though for Mythx, I imagine. Has a Wizard still left on the board here. And I mean, we haven't even gotten to late game here. We see Mordox abundantly in Quick's hands. So, execution not, I think, going in the place it's supposed to be. But we'll see how Mythx responds. It easily could be a scope in there. Only time will tell. King Crab. Ooh, that's interesting. And of course, another Southport Captain, it looks like. King Crab will kill off the Mordock, but we'll see if Mordock does what I think he's going to do momentarily. No, okay, so it's not. I thought he was going to multi-strike up. He could still do it. No, it doesn't look like he's going to. Which is a shame. Well, does that not work? See, that doesn't... Okay. That is a moment that I do want to kind of take a moment and pause on for. To kind of forewarn you guys about the misuses of multi-strike. And I see this mistake plenty of times when I'm looking on TV. Multi-strike, I know it's kind of... It sounds buggy and it sounds weird, but multi-strike does not work once you've hit your target. You need to, if you want to use multi-strike, use it before you're actually moving units. That's the best way I like to think of it, so that way I don't forget when I'm actually playing my turn. Because once you use multi-strike on a unit that's already moved, for some reason it doesn't really kick in and won't actually work. So that's pretty much a multi-strike wasted. And again, you don't really want that. When Quick should have had a huge turn here. He could have hit Mordock, and of course he could have hit the castle for 2 undead units, and of course clean up this board quite nicely in his favor. But instead he's dealing with an undead horseman, or a headless horseman, to use, which I assume will trade into the Mordock, so that way Mythx just has to worry about cleanup from whatever Mordock spawns, but we'll see how that goes for him later down the line. Yep, he'll do that. Horseman, of course, coming back out for Mythx, or no, wait. I want to rewind that. Is that... I guess he did hit Mordock. I don't know. Did I just make a fool out of myself? Because normally that interaction does not work. I usually see this I don't know. I guess they're fixing stuff without me even knowing. I don't really know. Usually I know from my experience with that interaction happening, it doesn't work. Why it worked here, I'm not sure. Of course, maybe... I don't really know. Anyway, I mean, we just saw a bunch of things happen on the board here. Let's just rewind a bit. Hold up. Let me just back up a minute. All right. So what happened after this? Horseman comes out. He hits the castle for 3. Hits it for 4 again. Back to Mythx turn. Yep. So I assume Shaman comes out first, right? Yep, that's going to trade with the Horseman. Fear going to push the Wizard back momentarily, as you already saw. Yep, that'll do that. Beautiful. And then what is this Mythx got? Another Horseman. Okay, so that hits the castle. I think he needs more Wizard damage than castle damage, but of course castle damage is okay too. Quick's got Bestial Rage in his hand. That'll be interesting to see. Swordman coming out first, though, of course, makes sense. Big boy treasure hunt going on the Wizard. Yep, I almost said Swordsman, or at least Pirate. I don't know why. Although back to Mythx. Gonna pull out a Rakanoth, which will probably finish off the Wizard, right? Yep. And a fair warning, I kind of spoiled myself on this match already, and I want you guys to check out how awesome this turn goes for Quicks. Ready? So here we go. Quick's turn. Shadow Katana, Eternity Strike. What do you guys think is going to happen? 8 damage on Swordsman. Castle wide open. Smacks Castle. Kills it with Eternity Strike. Kills Arachnoth to boot. And that's the game for Quicks. Very nicely done. Now, to be fair, if he didn't pull the Shadow Katana in that instant, things might have gone a bit differently for our friend there. But that was an extremely interesting chain of events there. Having the Katana on Swordsman and, of course, the Eternity Strike. A combo that we haven't seen, or, it's not something that's brand new. Of course, we've seen it dozens of times already. But to always see it in action is very interesting. You don't think it's going to work out the way it does, but when it does work out, it's like, wow, I feel like I can pull it off. And then you try to do it and, get some mixed results in there. But you know what? That's okay. A beautiful way to end off this video, I think, with Quicks getting the win over Mythx. So, taking a win over the #1 player, of course, at the time of recording, is very big. But we'll see how standings change up later on. But overall, great match from both of these two, and a great way to end off this episode of TV Commentary. Alright, folks, and that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this edition of TV Commentary. Let me know what you guys thought of the matches here in the comment section below. And while you're done, if you've already done so, be sure to give this video a like, share with your friends, and of course, subscribe if you are new or haven't done so already. By showing your support to the channel, click the subscribe button, no additional cost to you. And that being said, guys, that's going to do it for me for now. So, until next time, stay gaming.